Hello, my crafty friends. I am Tanya at Blue Jay Vintage. I am a decorative furniture painter, DIYer, antique booth owner, and avid outdoors woman. Shoot, my camera is flipped the wrong way. I thought I did that. I'm not sure how to fix it. So, happy Saturday. We are in an event today, the Vintage and Thrifted group of virtual home marketplace by Miss Terry Burton. So we were invited. We're going to do this amazing craft today, and then the last 5 minutes, so at 1:10, we're going to auction it off. It may not be done because this is going to be a little bit elaborate, but at least the winner will be able to pick our final colors that we're going to go over. Well, you know what? I'm just going to show you what we've done. So I've got this beautiful frame. I picked it up last weekend I'm in the Bay Area of California. So we went to the Alameda Antique Fair. It is the first Sunday of every month. It is an old naval base. It is huge. I mean, there are 50 to 100,000 people expected in a one day. It was hot. We went down every aisle. It was all vintage and antique. So everything had to be 20 years or new or older. So I picked up this frame, and I did already start a little bit because it's going to take a while. So I picked up this mahogany frame. Look at the detail on this. This had a Santa picture in it. So I'm going to repurpose this picture with something else, and we're going to do something with this frame. So I am a retailer for Refunk Junk by Laura. I'm a furniture painter. This is the products I'm using. It can be used as crafts, or it can be used on your furniture. Now, because this is actually a light gray color, so because this is so dark, and I want to go to a light color, this is called Bashful Blush. This fog color is an in-between. It's a medium color. So instead of me doing 4 to 5 coats of this pink to try and achieve the color I want, I'm doing a medium color in the middle. Miss Tanya, how are you? I'm doing a medium color to help me transition to that lighter color. So I do the same idea on my furniture, even on these little beautiful frames. Like, look at that detail. I just couldn't pass this up. Plus, if this is true mahogany, it will bleed through. And this is a light color, the pink. So the fog will help keep that from the tannins coming through because it's a little darker color. So, let me tilt you down. We are going to hopefully get this all finished. So, if you are not part of the virtual home decor marketplace, I put the group up above. It's an amazing group. They are actually having vintage and thrifted live sales today and tomorrow. They have sales all the time. So now this is 2 very light coats I did. So I'm going to work on this side and kind of get it caught up. I didn't want to do the whole thing because I wanted you to see really what this frame came to me as. There's some chips in the wood, but I think that gives it character. You could, if you find a frame that's missing pieces, you could make a mold out of what's there and then glue it on before you paint anything. I like kind of leaving them if they are cracked or broken. I think it gives them character, but I love old frames, especially the detailed ones. Okay. And because this has so many little nooks and crannies, thank you, Miss Terry. Miss Terry's with the Robin Nest. If you don't follow her, make sure and follow her. So I used this brush specifically because it's so dense and all this detail. I will literally put my brush in there and just kind of swirl it around to get in all those nooks and crannies. because I don't want to get all done with this when it's all pink and then see some of the mahogany coming through. That's not my plan. And I will try and look at it from all angles, because from this angle, I can see we missed some. Okay, and then we'll go back over this. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to put in the middle of it. We'll work on that while this is drying. So I live in California. I have an antique booth in Roseville, California, and I live in the Bay Area. So it's a 2-hour drive to my antique booth. We're going on Monday. I'm actually having ankle surgery on Tuesday, so we're going to go up and stay the night. I'm going to have dinner with my kids. Hi, Miss Vicky. Hi, Miss Tracy. Welcome. I haven't been live in a while. I'm getting ready for a huge craft fair, and that's kind of just been taking up all my time. But of course, I will always say yes to Miss Terry. Okay. So now we have it pretty much even on both sides. Well, welcome. So I'm in the Bay Area of California, and normally it's nice and cool. It's not. We've been getting like 100-degree weather, and we're not used to that. Okay. I think I'm happy with where that is. Well, welcome. Now, just as I do with my furniture brushes, I put mine in a Ziploc bag, and I'll put it in the refrigerator. That way I'm not washing brushes all of the time. I hate washing brushes. It's not fun. I'll get them all piled up, and then I'll just pick a day and do them pretty much when I'm out of brushes. Hi, Miss Dawn. Welcome. So I'm going to move this. We're going to let this dry. Actually, we're going to put it right here. And that's why I'm wearing an apron today, because I'm a messy painter. So I have taken a piece of cardboard that will be fit right into the middle of that frame. So this is going to be our backing. And then this is what we're going to put in the middle. This is from Digital Deco Designs. She used to sell her papers this big. She doesn't anymore. But this bee, I have been holding on to this. Holding on to it. So another way I would do this, I've got the glass. Come on now. I will use the glass to kind of, exactly. I will use the glass to kind of picture how I want it to lay. I want this right in the center. I love this bee and I love these colors. So that's why I chose this Bashful Blush. I really wish I would have gotten a little more of the wine color, but I didn't have any colors to mix to get this pink, because then I want to add a little pearl glaze or rose gold, and we're going to definitely add some gold. So we're going to bring out the details on that frame once we get it painted the color we want. So we know what we want. I need to find my scissors. Here they are. So I'm going to just start here at the bottom. I'm not going to do it exact. And I am going to save these scraps. These are going to be perfect for other things. Thank you, Miss Terry. Yes, at 1:10, the auction will start, and they'll go for 5 minutes. So if at the end we don't finish it, you can pick the colors. If you want pearl and gold or rose gold, you can pick all the colors. Now, when I put decoupage paper on, I like to paint the background like a white or something bright. I think it brings out the colors in the paper. So that's what we're going to do. set that to the side. Don't want to break the glass. So this will have glass on the front of it. It will be protected. This is the cardboard. So I'm going to use this is called Snowy Day. So it's white with a little bit of blue tint to it. It's just what I have on the shelf for me to grab. Make sure everything is clear. We'll just do a quick coat of white and I'll show you how that's going to just brighten up the paper. Hello, Miss Linda. So I also, up above, I tagged who's next. Miss Tammy Loves Vintage. So up at the top, you'll see a tag to her page and to the virtual home decor marketplace. Make sure you go and join that group. It's amazing. Okay. Perfect. Now, we're going to dry this really quick. I'll show you what it's going to look like with this paper on and how much brighter it's going to be. So how's everybody's weather today? Are you guys all burning up too? So we moved from Roseville to here last year, and it was like 20-degree difference. So can you see how much brighter that paper is? Let me show you again. This is the back side. It's a little pop. I like the little pop to give some color. So you can use Mod Podge. I'm using Rethunk Gunk. I'm out of Mod Podge, and this works great. I don't take care of my containers, so they glue themselves shut. And I'm just going to use a chip brush for this. We're just going to get it on and move it around. Now I have a fan blowing on me because it's hot. You know, I have those lovely hot flashes and then it's hot on top of that. I like to get it where it's nice and smooth. I don't want any glumps of gunk anywhere. And then I'm going to use a Mr. bottle of water. That helps me reposition the paper if I need to. And I think it helps it lay it flat. Oh, I ripped it. Hold on. Let's try this again. Go up a little higher. Okay, now I've got this handy dandy little squeegee that we're gonna very gently lay it down so we have no bubbles. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Apparently didn't get any water on this corner, but we'll line it up and lay it down. You'll never know. Now we're going to go over the top with some more. We want to make sure this stays on the cardboard. And I like to saturate it because I do like it to wrinkle up a little bit. Once we get done, it's going to give it a little more of an antiquing, aged kind of look. Okay. Now, oopsie. Now, set that aside. So this frame also comes with a hanger. I just took it off just to be easier. I've got the screws of the hanger I'll put back on, and it's got a backing sheet I will put on also. Now, we're gonna trade places and we're gonna start painting this one. Let's see, this one's already open. Keep a screwdriver handy for this reason. And this one's been a while. It's been in my storage unit since when we moved up here, so I may not, oh, there we go. There we go. I'm terrible with my paint containers. Now, we are gonna use the same, not the same brush, the same style brush. This is a new clean brush to do the pink. And I need to do it the same way so that I can get in these little crevices. So, and I don't want to do dark, I want to do still very thin light coats. I don't want the paint to pull up. So this is going to be maybe 2 coats, probably 3 coats to be realistic. If you wanted to be a little more heavy-handed, you could get it done in 1 to 2, but I don't want the paint to pull up, especially in these areas, because then you don't see the detail. I need to make sure and get all in here. And around all the edges. Thank you, Miss Deb. This beautiful frame that is screaming for detail. Definitely make sure and get the inside, so when that pretty paper is up next to it, you will really see the pink pop out. Okay. Now, we'll dry this real quick and then we'll do the next coat. I also have a fan blowing on me. I'm trying to get it to dry quickly because, you know, if I was doing this to get it ready for my antique booth, I would let it sit for a while. I'd go do something else. But we're going to dry this in between, so hopefully we can get a good idea what it's going to look like. Thank you, Miss Deb. So it's already here. Well, on the camera it looks white, but it is taking on the pink color. But we're going to get a real soft pink out of this. And I want to do a couple things on the bee print to bring out some of that gold also. Because we're putting a glass over it, I don't want to do any diamond dust or sparkles. But I'm afraid the glass would just smush it and it wouldn't look right. Okay. Now, let's get to coat number 2 of the pink. That's better. I might only need 2 coats. 3:15 Central. I'm in Pacific, so it's 1:15. My husband is at an estate sale right now and messaged me just before I came on and said, "You need to come check this out." I'm like, "I can't." I said, "You know our style, grab it." He's very good. My husband helps me a lot. We both do this full time. Perfect. I am just making sure nothing is pulling up around these cute little details. Okay, that looks good. Now, make sure and get everything around that corner. Mahogany is a hard color to cover, but that's why I did 2 coats of that medium color instead of 4 coats of the pink. Plus, if the mahogany color bleeds through, that medium color underneath the pink will hide it. Because you know, if you've painted furniture, you know there's nothing like waking up the next morning and seeing yellow spots coming through your paint job. Okay, that looks good. Hi, Miss Luann. So yes, if you're not part of Virtual Home Decor Marketplace, make sure and go join the group. They're doing a vintage and thrifted live sales tonight and tomorrow. But they have some amazing people in their group, sellers. Beautiful job. Miss Terry at Robin's Nest does a great job with that group, which is why I will always say yes to Miss Terry. Okay. I love it. I'm gonna grab some baby wipes, clean off my hands a little bit, and then we're gonna bring that bee over. So here is, whoopsie, here's our bee. It's still drying, but we can cut this off if I can find my, here it is, just my little X-Acto knife. Get it started. Because it's still damp, I could just tear it. Some of it is pretty thin, I'll just roll it. Okay, we want to make sure it's staying down. I think I missed this corner. Let me grab my gunk. I missed the corner. There. Leave that open just in case. Well, welcome everybody. Miss Tammy Loves Vintage is up next. I tagged her page up at the top, so you can just click on that and go right over to her at 1:15 Pacific. I have a very dull X-Acto knife. Okay, this will be fine. Now, what I am thinking on this beauty. Let's dry it just a tad. So I'm going to use my gloves and I'm going to use some metallic coloring to kind of just add some detail to this. I'm just going to use my finger. The paper is still wet, so I don't want to use a brush because that will pull up the paper, but I like using my finger. I feel like I have more control. Well, welcome, Miss Jean. I know we want pearl and gold. Let's do the pearl first. And this is not going to color it, it's just going to shimmer it. So I think definitely over these little wings. I want to smooth it all out. There we go. And then I'm going to try not to get the black marks. I want to kind of leave those. I'll make sure which finger I have it on. Perfect. Okay. Once that dries, then it's going to be pearl. Now let's do some gold. And I'm just seeing a little clump here. I want to smooth that out a little bit more. Okay. Let's do some here. Now, her little crown. Just kind of go over it a little. I'm not trying to grab a lot. It's just little details. Fill this in too. Ooh, I think we need some more pearl on the pearls. Little dabs. You can still see the pearl. That one's a little heavy. I'm going to take some of it off. Okay, I like that. This is Rethunk Junk Pearl. It's the paint line is resin, so it's durable and sturdy for like door hangers, outside porch leaners. I use it on my furniture. If you don't have a retailer near you, you can get it on my website. But I love all the pearl, the gold, the rose gold. This color is really pretty. We might have to throw that in here somewhere. Let's see how that's looking. I think we might need some more gold, just some sporadic gold. Just kind of blend in. don't want to get too close to her. Just some shimmer when it's in the frame. Okay, I think that's good. Go a little bit wider with that. It's perfect. Okay, I don't think we're going to do any more with her. Although I'm really thinking like some sparkle, even if it's under glass. We're just going to do it. I think it needs some diamond dust. And since it's already wet, we're going to add some sparkle. Not a lot, just a little. So, got my spoon. Just ever so gently. I'm going to move it around a little bit. And then the other side. Hi, Miss Claudia. How are you? So yes, if you are near Alameda County, I'll be at a harvest festival at the Alameda Fairgrounds at the end of October. That's what I've been killing myself trying to get ready for. Oh, I love her. So let's see if you can see that sparkle. I have a big natural window right in front of me. You're not really seeing it, but you will. You will. How are we on time? Okay, we have 10 more minutes and then the auctioning is going to start. Let me dry this. I think we are ready to apply some gold and some pearl over these details. But I want the paint good and dry because otherwise it'll smear together and muddle it up. Absolutely, he's doing flags. We're starting some other cute little ladders and things like that. This is too hot. But yeah, we signed up and got accepted. I was really surprised. Thank you, Miss Terry. Oh wow, we're good. So I need another pair of gloves because we definitely need some gold inside. Thank you, Miss Tracy. And I'm going to do it the same way. I like using my fingers. I have better control with my fingers. Set this over here. So I did bring over my Shiva sticks and my rub and buff because I will sometimes use those as well. If it's I'm trying to achieve a color that I don't have in paint. Otherwise, I like to use paint. But these Shiva sticks are great to add just little pops of color. I don't think any of these. I think we're just going to use this metallic. So, and I don't want it solid. I just want touches. And there I got a little carried away. So we'll just wipe it off with the baby wipe. A little too thick. So Miss Catherine over at Digital Deco Designs has smaller sheets of that same paper that you could make little pictures to go with this also. Drip. And I got carried away there. So perfect. I like that on the inside. Now my pearl. We're going to go over that. A little bit of pearl also, which it kind of will only shimmer in light when you walk by. It'll just give it a little shimmer. If I put the gold on first, if I put the pearl on first, you wouldn't even see it. Okay, now wash my finger. We're going to go back to the gold and we're going to start. We're going to start on this little detail right here. Just a little bit. And just soft and gentle. And I got it where I didn't want it. I'm going to use a baby wipe and just wipe it back. So now you can see it a little bit better. I can't get my finger in there. So I'm going to go ahead. Just barely get it on my brush. Perfect. Except I don't want it here. That's so much better. Oh, I love it. And then once the gold is done, I was going to go back over it again with the pearl. So where's there it is. Let's get these done. Now these have little corner pieces. I'm going to get my fat fingers down in there. So now you see my vision. And it's turning out just like I thought it would. Baby wipe to clean that up. And then nothing on my brush, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move around what I already have there. Just to get those details to pop out. See, like these just disappear. Whoops, this just disappears. These pop out. Now I do see some spots on the frame that do need to be touched up. The pink, but I would wait for it to completely dry. I would take a smaller brush and I would just detail exactly where I need to touch it up. Then right here, I'm seeing some paint that's pulling up. I'm just going to pull it out. I do not want to hide any of those details. So now we'll go back to my, thank you, Miss Terry. I appreciate that. So yes, make sure you're part of the virtual home decor marketplace. This weekend's theme is vintage and thrifted. But I believe they do sales every weekend. I feel like I'm just not getting enough. So I'm going to go back to using the brush. Actually, I think the paint is still wet because it's not as bright as the other ones. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit longer. Oh, it's almost auction time. Let's see. This one is still a little bit wet. Let me pull that paint out. That looks okay. And then another thing, I might, depending on who wins it, if you want it, I can go over the whole thing in a dark glaze just to give it more of an old world feel. So let me show you what it's going to look like. We have our pretty little bumblebee. It's so pretty. Now I do have glass that goes in here, so that'll give you a nice reflection. That diamond dust, once everything is dry, will sparkle along with the pearl, and then just a little bit of gold we added to just tie it all together. So I do need to finish painting the frame, but otherwise it's going to be yours. I have a mess to clean up now. So let's see. I'm going to move this. Oh, I guess I could give you a size. I didn't think about that. Let me get my tape measure and I'll let you know how big it is. I mean, you can probably see by the scale of my hands, but I have 10 tape measures in here. None of them are in my reach. So this frame is 17 by 14 and a half. 17 exactly. Actually, 17 by 15. And it will have a hanger on it. I'll put this back on, and it has the nice paper that will go across the backing so you don't see just cardboard on the back of it. So then you could set it up and lean it somewhere if you didn't want to hang it. It's going to be nice and sturdy, and it's got the glass that goes in it. I am going to show you closer. So the auction is going. So I think we have $25 so far. We have 4 minutes till the end. So that's an up close of the two gold ones. I think turned out pretty good. But you can still see some spot. I need to do another little bit of pink. This one is still pretty wet. But all of them will have that detail. So there's 3 on each side and then 1 on the top and the bottom. And then if you want it, I will add a dark glaze over the top of it. We could tone down that pink a little bit, but I love the pink with this paper. Like the little pearls is really the only color that it has. Oh, he's so cute. He's so pretty. I mean, you could almost even take the glass out and use it as a pen cushion, like a note board if you wanted. It'll leave holes and you will always be a pin cushion, but I bid is $25. So we have, I think, 3 minutes left. Let's see. Let me dry that and I'll work on the gold for that. $28 is what I see. So if you're the winning bidder, just send me a message with your email address and your zip code, and I'll figure out how much shipping is. UPS is generally the cheapest. I do a lot of shipping with eBay and Poshmark. I do a lot of vintage stuff on there. I'm just making a muddled mess out of that one. I gotta let it dry. But you can have confidence that the other ones will look as good as these first two. And then if you don't like this picture, you can even take it out and use this frame for something completely different. So yes, make sure up in the description is the link to go to the group, the Virtual Home Decor Marketplace. They are having vintage and thrifted sales tonight and tomorrow. So you can fill up this weekend on some fabulous things. Especially, I love vintage in the fall. Your porch displays, your hutch displays. And then Miss Terry, thank you, Miss at the Robin's Nest. Make sure and follow her. And up next, the link is up there also for Miss Tammy Loves Vintage. 1 minute left. We've got $28. I'm going to tilt you up. Hi. And I'm going to bring it up here. You can see, maybe, Virtual Home Decor Marketplace. Here is, I'm holding the cardboard in. And then I'll put the glass in before. Oh, look there, you can see the sparkle. You can see the pearl and the gold. I have a huge window on the other side of the camera. That's just natural light. Oh, she's so pretty. I love Queen Bee. So we'll add the gold and the pearl after I finish the pink on the frame. So $28, I think, is the winning bid right now. With less than 30 seconds, Miss Terry's going to say stop. And if there's one after that that's higher, it goes with that. Otherwise, we have $28. Oh, there we go. Whole picture. These are just disappearing down here. This is called Bashful Blush, which is a really soft pink. I don't think the camera's making it look more white, but it's pink and gold. Miss Nancy is the winner. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this Saturday. Let's go watch Tammy Loves Vintage. Thanks.